I'm not there.
You're not there. Not here, but you're still here.
Hello, guys. She tells me I'm on, although I can't see me or you.
No, you can't.
There we go. Hey, you guys were talking about what kind of box for quilling supplies. I'm not selling this one, but I thought I'd show you what I came up with as a solution. This I found on Amazon. It's like 9 by 12 and 2 levels. Right now I have my quilling books in the bottom of them. It's too heavy to get around with that. So what I'm going to do is put all my strips in the bottom, and that way they don't necessarily have to be in their envelopes, and they're still going to be protected. And then I'll put my other quilling supplies on top, and it snaps together and carries with a handle, which is pretty cool. So I thought I'd show it to you. I bought it on Amazon, and I'm not going to buy them for the store because, candidly, given the size of it, I can't ship it for the price. So I'm just going to show you what I got and tell you I think it was cool, and I think I paid $14 for it. So I thought it was a good price too, but I can't compete with Amazon when it comes to shipping stuff. So I don't even try for the bigger stuff. I just tell you where to get it. All right, today I'm excited.
Do the quick rundown of hellos?
No. Hello, Kathy, girly girl. Hi, Sharma, Thelma, Kathy. I already said Adeline, Laura Hernandez. Back down. Thelma. Yes, I said okay, Thelma. I think. Is that it?
Yep, I double checked.
Oh, we just have a small crew so far tonight, but maybe we'll have some more folks join us. I'm loving this set, guys. I told you last night, I really, 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 really like this set. Now, I hope I can find mine. I usually get busy or get organized earlier than I am today. What did I do with my stamps?
Is it possibly over underneath the quilling flowers? I see something that's green.
Nope. I have my die. This is all my quilling cards. Whew. Wow, it is very, very muggy here today. Margie and I were just saying that it makes me feel hot. In fact, I should have brought a ponytail and put it in because it makes me feel very hot. That's the one. Thank you. Margie found it. Thank you. Okay. All right. Will you also please pull the watercolor pencils? I've done things with lots of different materials. I decided watercolor pencils might be a good idea. And thank you. All right.
I heard an and. Anything else?
I do need probably my water pen filled up. Well, maybe not. It's pretty good. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at our samples again. And I'm not going to remake all of these, but I do want to tell you how I did them. So we'll start by looking at our magazine.
Say hi to Betty.
Hi, Betty. Hi, Betty G. Good to see you. Okay, go on my hands if you will, please.
Sure will.
Thank you, Mary R., for reminding everybody about thumbs up. Yeah, we were really shy on thumbs up for What's New Wednesday yesterday. Of course, I know I didn't have a lot of new products, but this is the stamp set, which is totally amazing. We've got two beautiful birds. We've got lots of different greetings, lots of different shells. We've got this beautiful sailing ship. You've got a porthole and a sentiment to go inside the porthole if you choose to use it. You've got a beautiful, there we go. You've got a beautiful lighthouse scene. You've got a rescue float with an anchor behind it. You've got this beautiful, mine's on his side at the bottom. Now he's upside down. There he is. You have this beautiful seahorse die. It's at least 3 inches tall and 1.5 inches wide. That die itself would cost $9.99, but you get all of this. You get the magazine you get the magazine. You get the A5 stamp set. This is a big, beautiful stamp set by Crafter's Companion. And you get this beautiful die, all for $9.99. Whoa! So there we go. It's really a nice collection. So let's take a look again at what I've made so far, and then we will move on and make something new. So this one, I still have my bright yellow bruise there. This is from my colonoscopy bruise. I wear my battle scars proudly, guys. Well, 1,000 bookmarks is a lot.
Yeah,
Wow, Betty, that's
it's
great.
a lot.
Okay, so this one, I just took a blending tool and put a very light coat, not a regular coat, just kind of a sporadic coat of blue because I kind of wanted it to be irregular. And I just used a blending tool to put some blue down on my note card. Then I stamped my little seahorses here and there. And then I cut two of my seahorses. This happens to be out of pearlescent orange. They could be out of anything really, but pearl orange is what I had here. And then I backed them with gold. So I had to I glued my seahorses down to gold mirror board and then fussy cut around them. I covered my card with gold mirror board to match, cut this piece, my layering piece, slightly smaller so my gold border would show. And then I used some hunky-dory gemstones on the I used all of these are turquoise colored or light, like sky blue colored, but I used medium and small ones off my hunky dory sheet and stamped my verse and backed it with some gold mirror board. And that was it. So very simple, but really cute card and so quick to do. I mean, it takes longer to say it than it did to do it
It looks
practically.
rich.
It does look rich,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it looks like
And this one's done very similarly. I put blue. In fact, this one I actually I didn't even, I used my card blank and I put my blue ink down on my card blank. I stamped and colored three of my shells and cut those out. I die cut this out of that same kind of orange um, shimmer paper, glued it down on the gold, and then fussy cut around that. And then I just took one of my intensity markers and I changed my yellow rhinestones on my rhinestone sheet. You know, we've been using a lot of those 7 millimeter rhinestones from Doris because they're really inexpensive. You get two sheets of them in a package, and I think it's like $1.99 or something. And frequently we've put those on sale for less. So when we see those on sale, it's a good time to pick those up. And I used my intensity markers to change the yellow to orange to really kind of match my scene. And I love the way this one looks. I stamped my C's the day and I backed it in the same material I used for my seahorse. Easy peasy, but cute. Cute. I think this was Bryce's favorite card out of the lot. Hi, Angela. Next, let's see. Next one. For this one, I took two of my watercolor markers in slightly different colors. I just scribbled on a piece of plastic with them. Then I used my water brush. I added a spot of water to them, just a drop of water. And then I mixed and picked up my ink and just inked the bottom for the ocean and inked the top for the sky. Stamped my sailboat on it. And away I went. Stamped my bird. And I love this saying, we cannot control the wind, but we can direct the sails. Cut it down after I colored it. Just a little bit of coloring, really. I only used this kind of tan color. My red, I used blue flags and a brown for the sailboat. I just didn't use a lot of color. It was very easy coloring. And I love the way that turned out. What a nice masculine card, huh? So fun. All right, this one, I stamped the porthole And then I used one of my gold intensity markers to cover the white with gold, just because I thought that a metallic around the porthole would look good. And I liked the way it turned out. So I covered everything that was white in gold. And then a couple places, it's kind of hard to just color around that rim and make it even. So I had my black marker here too, and I kind of corrected myself in the black areas with my black marker. So it turned out okay. And wishing you oceans of happiness. I stamped that and my seashells. I wasn't particular where the seashells went. I went ahead and put my greeting at the bottom, and I stamped right onto my Jamie paper here. And I wasn't really particular where my starfish went. I just kind of stamped them all over the place. And then added I took my porthole and I took one piece actually of my Jamie paper where I had come in real close if you would. You guys will see any of my imperfections, but that's okay. It's all part of the learning process.
A little bit further out or more?
No, this is
Okay.
actually good. This is a piece of Jamie paper where I just used Beyond Blue and I had a lot of ink on my page. And I just had it stamped on, or just had it sprayed onto regular white cardstock. I pulled that cardstock towards me and it leaves this white ruffly edge along it. Then I took the piece that I tore off, I turned it upside down, and I could use that one for a wave too. So I glued my waves inside the porthole, then I stamped my bird in, and I just love the way the waves turn out. It's just fantastic. That's good, Mary R.
Very, very smart.
Added a few little rhinestones because I was kind of into rhinestones this week. These are blue and dark blue, but I just added a few rhinestones. This is very similarly done, but it's just so striking because of the piece of paper I used. This was this was I actually did this, Jamie, on a large piece of paper, and I'd already used half of it, so I had just enough of this color left to do this card. And in this one, I took my A6 card, covered it mirror board, of course. I cut this piece of paper. I love this piece of paper, by the way. That's just Jamie powder, guys. Isn't it beautiful? It's just Jamie paper done with greens and blues, and you can see that I left a little white here and there. I like the way that looks too. I stamped 3 seashells and colored those and cut them out. I did the same thing. This is a piece of shimmer paper, but this time, because of the colors I was putting it with, I did it in light green shimmer, and then I put my gold behind it. I stamped my porthole and did the same thing. You can see on this one, I decided not to do that inner ring. I think it actually maybe looks a little bit better when you don't do the inner ring, although I think you can do it or not do it. It's your choice. But I left the white inner ring because I wanted a little bit more white on this one. I did exactly the same thing. In fact, I tore these. Thank you, Angela. I tore these pieces of Jamie paper and glued them in. And then do you guys remember there's a sheet of the Jamie paper that looked really weird. It was really weird looking. It's the one where I said that I had glue on my board and I just wanted to see what it looked like. It was either glue or the clear paste. And I just kind of mixed it in. Let me see if I can find it. This one. And I just mixed it in and I got this weird looking paper. Look how good it is weird looking paper. It truly is. I wondered what I was ever going to use it for, but I've shown it to you a couple times. That's my sky. Look how good it looks as sky.
Pretty cool.
And I stamped my birds right on top of it. Assembled the card. I'm loving this card right here. This is by far my favorite out of the lot. I just love the way the colors play together. I like the sparkle from all the Jamie powders, and I just love it. It's beautiful. So there we go. So I made a few extra things as I was going. I actually, at one time, thought I might put this here, and then I decided, no, that's way too much.
Good decision. Good decision.
Way too much. So I didn't. They actually had one like that in the book, and theirs looked good. Mine did not. So I stopped. But this was, hi, Sue. Okay, so I have a few extra pieces I already stamped and even colored. Let's talk about coloring them a little bit. I used my watercolor markers on these, and like the shells, I colored them in gray. But what I'd encourage you to do, since you're using watercolor markers and they'll blend so well, use a little pink or blue just to highlight your shells, and it'll make them way more dimensional. So go over just the center and maybe just a little of the edge, and it will make your shells more dimensional. And so I've already made a number of shells that I can use. And I stamped this sheet and thought, well, I'll see what I want to use off of there. So I've done a little stamping ahead. I have my lighthouse. That's what I thought I might start with today. And then I just wanted to point out once again, oops, I didn't show you all my cards. I did a Z fold card out of this one. And I'm not sure it turned out perfect, but I think that it was a good start. And I might redo this one, but here's my lighthouse. And I have Jamie papers behind my lighthouse for the ocean. You can't quite see it a lot from there because of the lightness of the sky. But I used one Jamie paper, just kind of a really scattered ink on top for the sky. And I do think that looks great as a sky, an ocean sky, where you have that misty stuff in the air. I think that turned out great for the sky. And then I don't love my coloring on my lighthouse. That's why I decided to do another lighthouse and do it with pencil, because I think it'll be prettier. But it still was a first effort. I used, believe it or not, this is the same paper for the sky, but I think this piece where it's softer colored was the better choice. And then the same technique for creating my waves, just tearing my paper towards myself. I also wish I had back to this. So I'll tell you all the things I do differently. But that's where I am. And I have a lot of Jamie papers, but I kept these out in case I wanted to use them. So these are some of the other Jamie papers I still have in my stash. That's a very shiny one there. But any of these can be used. Here's one that I was using for the waves. So you can see, to create the waves, I simply pull this towards me, and it reveals the white cardstock in between. Then if you want to create another wave, you can take the piece you just took off and glue it right underneath. So that's how you get those fun waves. If you don't want the waves so big, simply tear off. You know, if you want them to have a little more smooth sailing, just tear off some of the white part until you get the size waves you want. So we've got waves. I'm going to keep that out because that makes good waves. Here's another one that could be really fun. These are all just Jamie papers I made when I was making them. Sometimes green in the water's fun. So I kept these out. This is a wild one, but I love it. So these are a lot of the papers that I made when we were making the Jamie papers, and a couple occasions we've made them. Now see, I think this, where it's the softer colors, would be a beautiful sky. You know, just kind of picking a place. And I have a little, you just get little spots and things. If I didn't want to use that area, this area would also be beautiful for a sky. So I just wanted to show you some of the other Jamie papers I had sitting here that I can use if I want to. This one was actually from my gel press, and I thought that one was pretty. Here's another one of those splotchy ones that will look neat. some more very soft, subtle color changes.
Yeah, but that glistening piece to it really makes a big difference as you move it. You
Yeah,
can't necessarily see the gold, but it is definitely sitting on top.
yeah. And this one I think is beautiful. Now these, remember when we were doing the Jamie paper and I said sometimes you want to let it run? You know, that's the effect you get when you just kind of let it run end to end and side to side. You get these angles of color. So we're not rehashing the Jamie class here today. I just wanted to show you these are some of the papers that I think will work well with this collection. So I kept all these out. Believe it or not, I have more that are not out. I really got into doing Jamie papers and my gel pressing. That's another gel
You
press
don't
one.
say.
That's another gel press one right there, and it's got glitter to it too. It
They're
doesn't
so
quite show,
pretty.
but they're pretty. So I've got those out in case I want them because this is a use your own stash. And guess what I got in my stash? A lot of Jamie stuff. So I'm going to get my stamp set out here and my die out. I'm going to need a stamp platform. Where's my stamp platform? Oh, it's right there in the chair next to me. Well, maybe I'm not taking that out right now. That's what's doing it. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful collection. $9.99. Can you believe it? Such a good deal. It's really, it's really
I'm trying not
muggy.
to move for a little while.
Margie's been working all day on filling orders. We had Brittany and Ashley here today too. Gonna take a little while extra to get your orders this time, guys, but I think you understand why it might take just a little longer. Okay, the first day of our sale, our total sales. Is there any that has a silver sheen? Yes, there is. There is one that has a silver sheen to it. The seahorse die, Angela. I just said that just before you came on, but we'll try. I'll actually measure it this time. Is 3 inches by an inch and a half, which is exactly what I guessed. It's a beautiful seahorse. Okay, so I think I'm just going to take my stamped image to begin with and just do a little coloring this time. I'm going to try and make my lighthouse just a little more subtle this time. I'm going to go ahead and put my colored pencil down, and then I'm going to add a little water to it. I don't really want to turn it pink. I just want to take any pencil marks out of it with my water pen. You see, I think I'm going to like this already. I think I'm going to like this better.
Do you want me to come in just a little bit more, or is that good?
No, I think that's good
I'm always
for now.
afraid of coming in too close, and then it seems to fight the blurry.
Okay, I want to get a little bit more light in my lighthouse this time. So I'm going to use a bright yellow up here. I might still cut my lighthouse out and put a sky behind it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'll do there yet. What are you guys up to? I know Betty's working on bookmarks. What are the rest of you guys doing?
1,000 of them.
Oh, Mary got her COVID booster today too, Margie.
How exciting. Did they do a good job? I hope they did, because they didn't do so great.
I'm going to try and brighten it up a little bit. It's a little darker than I wanted. Put a little lighter green in here and grass around. Draw, let's see, ocean, it rains a lot. It should be pretty green
Claire
around
is
there.
working on a sympathy card. Kathy Girls Crocheting Basket Weave Washcloths.
Oh, wow. Okay. Making puzzles with countryscapes. Oh, fun. Beautiful. You guys are all doing some fun projects today.
Flora, are you using the Country Escapes Hunky Dory and then using like a puzzle die? That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's what she said.
Well, Mary R, I'm glad she did a good job for you.
Margie's poker person was a little rough.
Just like
Just a little rough. Okay.
got my shingles shot at the same time. So, not sure how that's going to work. We'll find out. They say you can. So I figure get it done and over with. If you're going to feel icky, you might as well feel icky. Annette says she's back. Crafter's Companion 5x7 puzzle die.
I haven't had my shingles shot yet, but I know I should.
It's not just one shot. I found out today. I have to go
Is
in
there a
2
booster?
to 6 months to get the second shot.
Okay. It didn't used to be that way, I don't think. I think it used to be just one shot, but then they have decided it needs to be boosted. I'm going to use my water pen to soften my pencil marks a little bit in the sky.
Say hi to Roberta.
Hi, Roberta. Welcome, friend. Loving this nautical set. It's really a lot of fun to work with. It's got beautiful, beautiful images in it. Maybe I'll just do this whole thing in pencil. By taking my pencil, my pencil marks with the water pen and really spreading them out, you can get all different variations of color in the sky, which is kind of fun. I'm going to put a little bit of gray under these clouds. At least in the Pacific Northwest, those clouds would be gray underneath. Because they're going to come in and hit you with a bunch of rain. You can pretty much count on that. I tell you, though, after the drought we had last year, the rain is welcome. I love the rain. I've decided the rain is fine. Rain is not a problem. We in Oregon have webbed feet. Like ducks. We got the web feet going. You ever wonder why it was the Oregon Ducks? There you go. That's why. That's why we would pick a duck for a mascot. Of course, we also have a beaver.
Yeah. That's water.
I was going to say, we also have a beaver.
Between logging and water area.
Did you? Well. Bryce was just telling me that they put up some signs in the nature reserve right down the road here, between here and Sherwood, that they have populated beaver and otters, river otters in there.
That's good.
Isn't that fun? So I can't wait till I hear that they've seen a river otter. That just sounds too much fun. They put a little viewing platform by the bridge, on the bridge, somewhere by the bridge, that you can go and see what's happening with the river otters, to see if you can see them, spot them out there. But I think that's just too much fun that they put in a habitat for river otters. Yeah, river otter population was just decimated here during the fur trade, but they're coming back to Oregon. So I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Guess we need a little brown in our birds. I don't know what kind of birds these are with the fantail. We always at the beach we have seagulls. I don't know what these are. Anybody know what these are with the little split tails? What are those birds?
Are those their feet, maybe?
The
Are they
what?
trying to just show their feet?
No, that's
No?
not their feet. That's their
They're
tails.
definitely the tails.
Definitely tails. Anybody know what those are? Okay. All right. I'm going to outline my windows down here. As I made the windows above in blue. I'll make the house door blue. I'm going to make the roof of this gray. And then I think I'll add a little bit of red. Just to get a little bit more detail in there. Up around my windows. And I'm going to put some light in the windows. Didn't stamp as thoroughly as I would like, so I'm going to put a little black to separate my windows here too. There we go. I think that's not bad. I'm going to stop there. And I'm going to get a card blank. And let's see, what do we want to do here? I kind of think I want to put this up against the edge so that, because it kind of cuts off there. I think I want that cut off part right up to the edge of my card. I do think I want a piece of silver mirror board in this one. That's gold. No, I don't think it's swallowtails. I think that's what you're. I think you're right. I think they are swallows. Okay. Let's. I'm going to cut this off right at that border. I kind of cut a little more than I wanted to, but that's okay. Actually, I cut a lot more than I wanted to, but that's okay too. I think what I will end up doing then is layering some paper behind it and then putting my scene on top, perhaps. That one's not quite right. I do not want. So I want silver. Let's just put the silver down first. It is really warm. How about if I turn just the fan on? Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem.
It's not hot in here. It's just sticky.
Muggy. Yeah.
Fan only. Okay. Well, I think it was Einstein Annette who said he never tried to remember anything that could be written down because it was a waste of precious memory space. I figure if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for us, huh? Okay. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. Scissors.
She put a bookmark in my thank you card for the bookstore where I sent all my other cards. Of course, she loved them, hence the huge order.
Okay. So I'm going to cut this one. Let's see, how long is that? Oh, that'll be just right. I'm going to cut this one to 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. Layer this up on this page. Then I can come in with this and it no longer looks quite as small. I actually might come in with still another silver because I didn't cut off that much, but it did impact it. Got in a hurry, shouldn't do that. Frigate. 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 Okay.
Brenda said that she ordered 2 of this set. She liked it so much.
This is really a nice one. It's a great one for the price. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to put another little piece of silver in here. I put it wrong. Let's get another piece of silver. I could have used the one I just cut off. Didn't. Okay. So 3 5/8. This would be 3 3 or 5 3/8 by 3 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. Ooh, that's actually going to look nice. Sometimes my best work are the things I screw up. Not always. Not always, but sometimes. My blouse is supposed to be glittery, isn't it? My daughter went after Christmas shopping a few years ago with her friends, and she ran into this blouse style, and she knew I would love it. She just knew it. So she bought me this in black. She bought it in green, she bought it in gray, and she bought it in blue because they were like $10 a piece for the sweaters. And she knew I was going to like them. So she bought it for me in 4 colors.
Well, why wouldn't you like something sparkly?
It was sparkly and beautiful, and I'm all into sparkly and beautiful. Now I can actually cut a little more off of this. Let's say I am a little more careful this time, though. I want it to be 3 1/8. Okay, so I had 5 7/8, 5 5/8. So this one's going to be 5 3/8. Let's just see what we get here. Nope, still too long. I'm going to take it off the top, though, because I want to be able to have room for my greeting down below. There we go. Whew, I'm liking that. Yeah, this had to have been a couple years before the pandemic, so these sweaters have held up really well. Although this gray one, I was going to put the gray one on today, and the gray one is now missing some of the rhinestones, and it's black underneath where they glued the rhinestones on. So I either need to glue on some new rhinestones or show up with little black marks on my silver sweater. Okay. And on my cutoff part here, I have my enjoy the journey, enjoy life's journey. So,
There said I love sweaters, but I haven't worn them since I turned 30. They're too darn hot natured. Maybe
well,
when I get to be a senior citizen.
I can understand that. But you hear me all the time talking about how hot I am when everybody else around me is either comfortable or cold. And I'm
Although that
fanning
medicine
myself.
change seems to have helped you a little bit.
Yeah, I was taking blood thinners. I was taking, what do you call it, Eliquis. And doctor took me off it temporarily, but I was taking Eliquis. And when I took the Eliquis, I was cold all the time. All the time I was cold. Then I stopped taking it. Now I'm hot all the time again. Still drinking my Mio company here. You can look up our address to send that truck. Truck out with the supplies. I do love the strawberry watermelon Mio. That's my fave. There's only one I dislike that I've tasted so far, and that was the fruit punch. I don't care for that at all. So Bryce went and bought me some Mio the other day. Guess what he came home with? A double-sized bottle of fruit punch Mio. Here, honey, I bought you something. Oh, great. Thanks.
But that's a good thing that you say it that way. Good, thank you. Thanks.
That was so nice of you. Okay. You know what it didn't color was my rocks. I really kind of need to add some color to these rocks along the shore here. What do I do with that gray I had? There it is. I think this needs to have just a bit more color in these rocks. Cliff edge. Can't have anything just white. That would not be okay. Just blue down here too. It's not the right blue though. This is the right blue. Okay. So what kind of birds do you guys have at beaches near you? Now, I know a lot of you don't live on the beach, but I know Roberta does. And anybody else that lives at the beach or visits the beach frequently near you, what kind of birds do you have? We have a lot of them. We have sandpipers and we have some little endangered birds. I can't remember what they are. The little sand birds of some sort. They have some real restricted areas where you can't go in because it's like the plovers, something like that. And little restricted areas that you can't go into because it's nesting area. And then we have seagulls and seagulls and seagulls and seagulls and seagulls. Lots of seagulls. So I'm going to put my Enjoy life's journey up on a tag.
And that says that it just happened to come in right as you were asking what kind of birds. And that says, speaking of birds, there's a gang of crows that are bullying a nest of wrens, and they are so loud.
Oh, I like this. Even though I cut it narrow, now I end up having something really unique because I needed to make up for the space I cut off. And I like it. I think my sky could have gone a little bit higher. Kind of add a little bit more.
Seagulls, herons. We have.
Oh, we have a few pelicans too. We didn't used to.
Yeah.
But now we get pelicans because it's warmer here.
Um.
Of course, we didn't ever used to have sharks. A lot of sharks out there because the water was too cold. And we now have sharks because the water's not too cold. So go figure. That was a shock to our surfers.
Here, I found one in my backyard trying to eat my goldfish
Oh.
in the winter. He was still as could be, and I didn't see him at first. But he tried, gave up, went away.
Right. There's a place we like to go to at the beach. It's just this little Shiloh Inn. It's nothing. I mean, it's not a fancy hotel at all. It's a family class hotel. We like to go there because they let us have our dogs. And it sits right next to a nature preserve. There's a big swampy area out behind it.
Uh-huh.
And we will always see cranes out there in the swampy area. And it just cracked me up the first time that Lauren saw one of those, and she said, "Look, it's a hall monitor standing and watching like the hall monitors watch." She called the crane a hall monitor. I thought that was hysterical. Okay, let's see. I think we should I really like doing the portholes. Guys, you mind if I do another porthole? Because I really, really like doing that one. In the absence of any verbal no's, I'm going for it.
You didn't even write an answer yet.
I want to do another porthole. I like it.
It says blue herons and egrets. And Roberta says she's 60 miles in from the coast, and they even come in and land at parks. The seagulls. That happens, and for whatever reason, they're attracted to McDonald's. I have gone.
People throwing fries or something, maybe?
It's gotta be something like that, because even in Walla Walla, which is all the way across on the southeastern portion of the state, they used to come and visit the McDonald's there. There were tons of them. And there were other types of places around there that would have had the same thing, but you couldn't go outside and play on any of the outside equipment because it was all gross.
Oh. Huh.
Go figure.
Yeah, they have signs up all over at the beach here telling you, please don't feed the seagulls. We don't want to encourage them to come in and land on the balconies and stuff. Okay, I've got my
Everything loves McDonald's fries. Kathy Girl says that she loves the portal and that acetate would look good attached as windows.
Let's do that. That's a great idea. Can you find me? There might be some in my sorter here. I don't know, but I know we have some upstairs here. I only need a 2.5 by 2.5 inch piece. Let's do that. I think that's a great idea.
Yep, you still have some.
Perfect. Thank you. I love that idea, Kathy Girl. Let's do it. Okay. Look what I'm using. I have my other one. I actually prefer the Yankee Candle top one. This one's supposed to be Margie's for using in the shop, but I stole it because I temporarily misplaced my other one. I'm sure it's in a drawer behind me. I just have to take the time to look, which I have not done. Okay, I have a tiny bit here that did not stamp. So I'm going to ink it up again. I probably don't have to ink up the whole thing, but it won't hurt. re-stamp that part. Make sure I get real good pressure on that part that didn't stamp before. I think I'll leave the porthole black this time. That's the one thing I haven't done, is left it black. Now that's a beautiful stamping. I do see one thing though on their stamp. It's not me, it's the way they colored it. It has one place in the black that's not colored. See that? On the very inside ring, you have 3 areas that are colored black and one that's left open. Do I sell those? Is that the this thing, Adeline, that you're talking about? Talk to Kathy Girly Girl. She can hook you up or give you instructions on how to make that.
Maybe it's supposed to be like the latch on the inside of the portal.
Maybe it's going to be black because it really kind of bugs me. Ah, my precision pen, there it goes. I hadn't used it in a while, it just didn't want to color. Okay, there we go. Okay, we got the porthole. We're going to put some glass in it. I do love that idea. And Margie Brunt. It's hard to find acetate on your desk. Okay, I think I will go ahead and cut the center out of my porthole before. I don't want to have to cut the acetate in the Kathy Girl might have just found a market for her stamping aids. If you prefer to print the instructions, I leave it completely up to you, Kathy. But if you decided you want to, I could attach them to a newsletter if that's the way you want to handle the requests. I love the purple one you made me, the Yankee Candle one. That's my fave because it's beautiful, glittery purple. And it's heavier, so I don't have to press on it. Okay, when you cut that out, then you almost always have to go in and trim it up just a little bit. I have one little bit that needs trimming on this side. I trust myself going uphill more than the downhill for some reason, so switch hands and do it there. There we go. Now that looks good. Okay, let's put a porthole in it. Oh yeah, I can do that. I was just wondering how I was going to do that, but I know how to do that. I'm going to put some tape. I'm going to use my hunky dory tape because I think it's a little stronger than the craft style I use a lot of the time. I'm going to put my tape on the back here. Whew. Okay. Okay. And peel my tape off. Since I'm not putting shaker elements or anything in this at this point, I think that I can get away with just taping this a bit and okay, there we go. Now I'm going to cut myself a piece that's about 3 by 3, I think. Let's go 3.5 by 3.5 since I'm going to cut it anyway, then I'll know I'm covered. Got a like 3.5 by 3.5 inch piece of acetate here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cut the outside ring, and that will cut the acetate to fit also at the same time. It is a little harder cutting with the acetate on the back, surprisingly. And although I think this is a fairly heavy piece of acetate, and I've got a 300-pound GSM piece of cards, so just go slow and easy. There we go. We have a porthole with glass. I don't know if you can see it. But there you go. We get a little view of the reflection. Okay. Now I need.
Now you see acetate like that, and then it just helps you think about the idea of a shaker.
Okay. Now, what do I want to use for color for the background? I could use that one. Let me see what I have here. I have all of these. Let me see which one I want the most. That actually would be pretty, wouldn't it? Bright like the other one. Maybe this one. This might be fun. That could be fun, huh? I'd have to put sky in this one, but we have sky. It's weird looking and it works really well. Let's go with this one, I think. I think that'll be fun, don't you guys? I love these where they drip and move. It's just beautiful. Creates a really neat movement. Okay, I'm going to take a whack off of this really weird one I did with the glue because it makes great sky. And I'm going to use a piece of it. Has to be, oh, that's nice right there at the top. That's nice. Hey, look at that. That makes great sky, doesn't it? Beautiful, beautiful sky. I'm going to use that. And we had some pieces we tore over here already. So we can, what I do with this, when I tear off the strip and then I glue it on, I glue it to the back. I glue it to the back so the foreground looks all one piece. See what I mean? I'll take this one where I tore it off and I'll just put it in up here. And then we'll have a nice bit of ocean. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Hey, I got to show you something I saw on a quilling site.
I was going to ask.
Look at this. This is my glue bottle uncapped. This is a Dixie cup with a wet wipe in it. Now let's see if it works as well as they say it does. It seems like it would work well. Yeah, look, my glue bottle is. It was a little stiff before I did this, to tell you the truth. So it is still flowing, but it's a little stiff. I'm gonna, where did my pen go? There's my pen. I'm gonna clear my nozzle a little bit because I've left it open once too long, but it did give me glue right away. I just have to, come on. I've abused this little glue bottle a little too much. Okay. I don't think I like that bit there. Maybe I'm going to tear that off. I don't like that bit at the very edge there. There's some kind of little weirdness going on. And now I'll come in with this wave and put it up over the top here. There we go. So now I have a nice even piece. And I can put my sky in here. And now I've got my waves and my sky. See how cool that's going to be? So I want my waves to come in front of my sky because I don't want my sky to have a straight line. And that means I'm actually going to glue this sky piece to the back of my waves.
Kathy Girl says, does that mean that we can't zap you anymore?
That's what that means, as long as I remember to put it back in the cup, which doesn't do me any good unless I put it in the cup. So if I don't put it in the cup, you get to zap me. I get the shock collar treatment. Okay. All right. Now let's put our porthole on. Oh, if I want a bird in there, I need to put the bird in now. I need to stamp the bird now. How much room do I have? Everything needs a bird on it. Put a bird on it, Marty.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to stamp my bird right now. I'll put this down on my board and get myself a bird. Get myself a bird so I can put a bird on it. I'm going to have my bird flying fairly low over the waters in hopes of getting a nice little fishy morsel. Ink him up. I don't know what our humidity is here today, but it feels like it's very high.
It is high.
We don't get a lot of humidity. No, thank you. Siri's talking to me, wanting to know what it was that I needed help with. Can I try again? There we go. Got my bird on it. Now let's put my window over the top. Since I figure out what I did with it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put my glass window over the top. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. I'll go ahead and cut this out. You know, when I made these blue, just beyond blue papers, I was actually a little annoyed with myself because I got too much blue on the board. And you remember with the Jamie papers how the blue just took over? But I was not willing to just throw out all that powder. So I just made several sheets of just blue to use up some of the blue. And I'm really grateful now I did that because I've really used that beyond blue for my oceans. I could have used a different color too, but I like the way that turns out. Here we go. We got our porthole with a window and a bird in it. And we need green or gold? Or none?
What about like black Mary to go with the black portal?
I don't have black, Mary, but I do have a piece of light black paper. Let's do that. I do think we need an A6 card though. Wait, wait. I got one. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. Okay, black sounds good. Let's do that. Whew. All right. Okay. So my family started Weight Watchers on Monday.
Your whole family?
My whole family, Bryce, Lauren, and I.
Poor
Dad
Bob.
doesn't need Weight Watchers. He's okay. In fact, his doctors don't want him to lose any weight. One of the signs of Parkinson's frequently is they'll stop eating and they lose weight. So when he went to his last doctor's appointment and he had gained like a pound, the doctor said, "Good for you. What's your secret?" And Bryce said, "It probably has something to do with hot chocolate and milkshakes every day." But so he doesn't want him losing any weight. He doesn't have to count his points, but it is going to be fairly easy, I think. I don't know. Ask me in a month if it's fairly easy, and I'd probably say no. But right now, it seems fairly easy. I'm actually going to have to eat more than I eat, but different stuff.
Yeah. Bob, obviously the humidity was good enough today that he came out and he was sitting in a t-shirt.
Yes, that's short. Yeah,
short sleeves.
Yeah, that never happens, does it?
And there was no hat on his head, and he was just totally enjoying sitting on the swing with his kitty, and he just looked so comfortable.
I noticed that earlier too. You never see Bob in a short sleeve shirt and without a jacket because he's always cold. And yeah, he was trucking all over the place today without extras. So it's definitely warm. Okay, I'm going to make this one 5 5/8 wide. For this, oops, I'll just do that. For this layer, and 3 7/8 inch the other direction. Oh, that looks good, Margie. That's pretty. With the green, that's beautiful. Look at that.
Really
Isn't that nice?
Out.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, and I have some other pieces done already here. So let's cheat a little and bring in some of those. I don't have to back a seahorse. I could use a skeletal seahorse, but I think it'll look better with black, or with I could put black behind it. I could. I think it'll look better backed with Mary or something. Although I do have this one. I have this one, which would be really pretty on here. He almost blends in too much, though. I think maybe we've got to go with the brown because he doesn't blend in too much. Okay, what did I do with the other? I had finished. What you guys can see of my desk looks pretty good.
You're pretty close in where they can't see all the extras that are on there.
If you could see everything else here, you'd clear your throat. Look at me.
Do you need me to find you some golden earring?
No, I had one already finished. That's what I was looking for. I had a seahorse done and trimmed already. I think it's probably under this. Collection of pencils. No. Okay, look to the left, look to the right, look on the floor.
Maybe it's folded up in your magazine.
It could be, or under it.
Or under it. Mm-hmm. I think we've covered everywhere else now.
I did want to mention to you that while all other aspects of this kit are perfect, this does not have nearly as many patterns in the magazine. You got a couple pages right here.
There's this one. Will that work?
Oh, that's what I was looking for. I thought it was brown. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And it's got a couple pages in the front, but they were a little skimpy on designs. But I think our designs will help make up for it since we now have like 7 cards. Okay, so maybe we are back to this color. Let's see if this color will go. It might still fade too much. We might have to do a brown one. I don't know. I do really like the way the seahorse sits on the side of there. Okay. I do have a few shells. One shell there. Let's get a few shells cut out. Love the starfish. So cool. And I really like this little mussel right here by putting some extra color in it.
Say hi to Irene.
Hi, Irene. Good to see you, friend. We're making nautical cards today and having lots of fun playing with these. All these wonderful elements they put in the kit. I think I'm going to use one of those. Use one of these. I think I like the seize the day for this one too. So let's go ahead and cut out that little saying because that'll be good. You know what I could have put on my lighthouse that would have looked good when it was narrower? Put this anchor thing to the side. Wouldn't it look good with the lighthouse? I think it would have. I always have these thoughts after the fact. I like it okay the way it is, but that would be one way to make the lighthouse wider. Kind of put that out to the side and the greeting out to the side. I didn't even put a greeting. Oh yeah, I did. I did put it at the bottom. Okay, there's one shell. And starfish here. Finished. Starfish. We got our seize the day, which is going to go on here somewhere. And I'll use one of these. Oh, maybe I'll actually use one of each of the 5 shells. Put a couple with the greeting. That might be fun. Don't know. I'll cut them out and we'll see. There's a little mussel shell. Oh. And we'll get one of these scallops. Okay. All right. I think we're ready to assemble. We have a seahorse, various shells, seize the day. We have our porthole, and we have our card. All right. Go ahead and glue this down since it's going paper on paper. How well my little glue bottle works. And I don't even have to change that baby wipe. I just have to get it damp again. And
Put your bottle back in.
I'm still gluing. I'm still gluing. Okay. I think I'll put the porthole about a couple of on a little foam. Okay, we'll put the porthole right in the center. We'll put our seahorse maybe up even a little bit more, because why not? How's my time?
You are at 5:20.
We're doing well.
Okay. It's technically like 5:19. And one computer is approximately 20 seconds slower than the other one. How
Really?
does that work?
I have no idea. If I ever get to a point where 20 seconds is making or breaking my life, I
You've
have to
got bigger
re-examine.
problems.
Yeah, I have to re-examine my lifestyle. I grew up in the era when the principal had a paddle.
Sure did.
I remember those days. Not that I was getting whipped very often, because I was a pretty good kid, but they always had the threat of it. He would bring it to meetings and stuff to remind you he had it.
I remember being really upset in the second grade because there was a boy in my class that the teacher felt it was on almost an everyday occurrence that she would take the my friend and give him a paddling.
Oh,
And she didn't do it in front. She had a side little room that joined between two classrooms, and he would get a spanking there. And I was so upset that I talked to my mom, and my mom went into the principal and said that that's not okay, and that if there should be a punishment, it shouldn't be from the teacher that's angry and upset.
good point.
So it was back when paddlings were still allowed. But it really bothered me because it felt like they were always picking on me. And it wasn't very nice. So I'm glad that they don't have it anymore.
Yeah. Although I gotta say, I don't think it hurt any of us. Although I did have one really bad experience with a teacher. As I said before, I was like this little Miss Goody Two Shoes student. I mean, I just loved school. I wanted to be there. I wanted to learn. I wanted to get everything right. You know, I tried really, really hard. And I had a teacher, my first grade teacher, believe it or not, at the point in time when you're probably the most impressionable, came around and slapped the back of your hand with a ruler. And I can't even remember what I was doing now that she thought it was necessary to do that. It hurt when she slapped me, but I cried and cried because I was in trouble,
Yeah.
and I never wanted to be in trouble. And I still don't recall why she did it, but it was just mean. It was just mean. Just totally unnecessary. You got a kid who's acting up and disrupting and one thing and another, then maybe, just maybe. But when you got a kid who's trying really hard to
Yeah.
do the right things, it just seemed wrong somehow.
Mary got her hand paddled, and Annette said that she was lame for something that she didn't do. Got sent to the principal's office, and she was 2 seconds away from being paddled. But my mother came in, and she made a grown man cry.
When we were young, we were in middle school, my sister and I. And I don't know, I just think that shell's just too dark. It doesn't really show for what it is. My sister and I were at home when my mom was staying with my grandmother who had cancer, and it was terminal. So my mom went to Washington State, probably, I'm going to say 60, 70 miles away from where we were. And she spent the week, and then she came home on the weekends. So my sister and I, this happened for several months. And my sister and I had to kind of learn how to do the laundry and get the dishes done and, serve dinner and just kind of take things over for mom while she was gone. And one morning, my dad got a call from the school saying that my sister wasn't at school. And he knew she was supposed to be. And there was a lot of tension in our house anyway, because, I mean, stuff was kind of, we were trying to make it all okay, but it was a scary time for us. And my dad was doing his best to be both parents. And then to get a call from the school that my sister wasn't there, he was terrified. He went trucking down to the school. In fact, it woke him up. He had worked the night before. And he went off to the school and he was going to find that kid and give her what for. Well, it turns out she was enrolled for 2 first period classes and she was there all along.
Can't be in 2 places at once, huh?
And when Dad addressed it with the vice principal, he said, "Look, I worked last night. You guys terrified me. I came running down here only to find out that you called me before you verified that my daughter wasn't at school." And there was a perfectly reasonable explanation. And the vice principal said, "Mr. Breedlove, you can't expect me to know where every student is every hour of the day." This was the last time my dad ever went to school. He reached across the counter and got that vice principal by the by the collar and pulled him over nose to nose and said, "Yes, you can. When it comes to my children, you better know where they are." It didn't help that he had gone to school with the vice principal and he thought he was a snotty little brat then. So, oh my gosh. No, not advocating you take those kinds of actions, but that's what my dad did. That's the last time he went to school. Mom took care of it from there. Oh, it feels like it wants something on the top. Do we need more shells around, do you think, guys? I forgot.
Maybe it needs little dots or something.
Maybe just some. Why didn't I think of that? How about some rhinestones? Let's use rhinestones. I did not bring Teddy's cards. Bryce might be in the living room. Would you ask him if he can find Teddy's cards? I
See?
say these things with the best of intentions, and my mind is like a steel trap. Nothing gets in.
There were some over here. Are these
No,
some of them, or there's other ones?
that was one of them, but that's a prior batch I've already
Okay.
shown. There's about 4 or 5 of them that just came in. Well, they didn't just come in, I just opened them. Actually, I didn't open them. I have to tell you this story because it was really cute. Some of the cards were addressed to Bob and Teddy. So Bob opened them and he just smiled and laughed and he had such a good time. And then I had other cards that were addressed to me and Teddy. So I asked Bob if he would open the cards. And he stood there and opened them and he was giggling and talking about them. And when I finished with the cards, he was still standing there waiting to see. He waited while I finished all the rest of the mail in case there was another card to open. It was so sweet. It was so cute. I love that man. I really do. He is the kindest, most gentle soul. Yeah, this is what it needed. This is what it needed. It just needed the space filled. That's much better. Much better. Seize the day. I like it. I like it. So we have another one. He's such a sweet grandpa. He really is. Oh my gosh, he's such a nice man. You know, a lot of people that develop Parkinson's and other mental impacts get ornery. You know, Bob has never had, I mean, knock on wood, but he's never had an ornery day. He is just the sweetest, most lovable man. We adore him.
Your hubby is not in there.
Okay.
Bob is asleep, and Teddy came over, and guess what can occur if I wear my mask?
He barks.
No, he jumped right up. He knew exactly who I was because he's seen me a
Oh.
lot. And he jumped right up and climbed on the back of the couch as I was walking in. And I went to go give him love, and with the mask on, it doesn't matter whether he licks my face or not. So he just had a blast.
Oh, he does
And
like
then
to lick
gave
everybody's
me a
faces.
hug, one on each side, and just leaned in.
Oh,
So he and I had
he's
a
a
little love
sweet,
moment.
he's a sweet boy. Okay, Mary, I know I told you this before, but I'll bring them on Saturday. I have to find them. They're sitting on the table in there, and they're sitting on the table, and
Are they on the kitchen table or are they?
no, they're on the living room table, but they may not be reasonable to find.
Okay.
The housekeepers were here, so there's no telling where they stacked them. So here's what it looked like with the jewels on it.
That makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. So we had 2 cards today. I think we'll stop there because I already had 6 for you from this set, but we'll look at the 2 we did today. If you want directions
It's a great set.
Isn't it a beautiful set? Well, we already had a prior 6 of them. If you want directions to any of these, are at the beginning of the video. So feel free to rewind and take a look at that. I love this set. I just think this set is marvelous. What I did when I did this one, I didn't mention it before. If you want these shadowed outlines, you just stamp once and then don't re-ink between. And if you want that softer cast. And this one, and this one, and this one. So you got 8 samples from this kit. I think we're good.
I like the sailboat.
Which one do you like the best?
Sailboat that you just picked
The
up
one?
at the lighthouse. This one.
Oh, this one? That's your fave?
I like that one a lot.
I think my favorite, well, actually, I know what my favorite is. This one. And it's just because of the colors in it. It just speaks to me. I think I got this rhinestone off of this card. It was sticking on something else. So I think we got a pretty good sampling. of what you can get from this set. And it's beautiful. $9.99, guys. $9.99 for all those stamps from Crafter's Companion, that beautiful seahorse die, and the magazine. $9.99. That's beautiful. Let's talk about what we're doing next. You guys know that on Saturday, we're going to take these materials and the 10 cards that come with the kit. We're going to build the cards, and then we're going to. Fergus is great. Fergus is doing really well. He's actually, we didn't notice before that he wasn't perky, but now we've noticed how much perkier he has become now that we're treating his thyroid thing. So thank you for asking about our baby kitty. Our baby who was 20-pound kitty. He's still a baby 16-pound kitty. So we're going to, on Saturday, we're going to build our Cardabella cards, and then we're going to start the process of embellishing them, because even though they're beautiful and the cards are done, they're just gorgeous, but they're just lacking a little something. So our quilling will just make all the difference and take these cards from okay to really proud to give cards. So that's what we're going to do on Saturday. My challenge to you, and my challenge to me actually, is you need to get a bunch of flowers done. Let's get a bunch of flowers done for our quilling. Get some flowers pre-made and some leaves pre-made. We can work on the vines together, but let's get a bunch of flowers and leaves made, so that make some leaves that are in the marquee shape, make some leaves that are in the teardrop shape, make some flowers that are in the tight coils, make some flowers that are in the different styles we've looked at. Here's the marquee flowers. Sometimes just little berries look good. This one's decorated with little berries and tight coils. The triangle petals. So you guys know what I'm talking about. Just make a variety of different flowers, and flowers you like and you want to work with. You can make a few buds, because the buds sure are nice when you go to put the flowers on. It makes it easier to arrange them if you have some buds, because you don't always have room for a big flower, but putting the bud on really helps. So there's another marquee flower. I know we have some other petals, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Make some dragonflies if you like ahead. So make up some, whew, make up some decorations in advance. I gotta show you, I don't think Margie's seen it. I gotta show you again the flower we worked on Saturday. It's just so pretty and simple to do. Also, remember, guys, if you want to, you can make a bunch of flowers. I was looking for a petal flower. There's a petal flower, but that's not the one I was talking about. You can make some loose coil flowers, like this one. Oops, get it on camera. Loose petals. You can make up some of these die cut flowers. We made this one the other day, but this is the one I'm looking for. Come clear in on this one, Margie. I want to show this against a background where you can really see it, because you need to see this one too. This is one we did on Saturday, and we did this with a double. Oops, get down where I can get on camera here. Here we go. We made this beautiful flower by making a regular coil and then flattening one side and leaving the other side rounded. And we attach two together.
That's a neat look.
Isn't that a neat look?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a beautiful flower. And it took a little longer because you had to roll 10 coils instead of five. But I think the effect is beautiful.
And with one of those electric quilling zoops.
Yep,
That's what I'm calling it.
the Zoop Zoop machine, also known as the winder, the electric winder. Yeah, the one we have in the store is called the Boss. And I told you guys before that I had looked for more of them and couldn't find them. Well, when I went back out to the website, um, the distributor website, they had them again. So I ordered some more of those um, winder tools. They sell for $12.95, and they are
Handy.
they are really nice to use. You don't have to use one. It's not one of the fixed costs of quilling, but it is nice to be able to wind things quickly. So make up some flowers, make up some leaves, and use up some of your die cut flowers. This is one of the green ones. I actually thought it turned out pretty cool. I wasn't sure about that green color. And this daisy, I thought that daisy actually turned out kind of cool too. So make up a bunch of flowers before next week, before Saturday, actually. So I guess it's only a couple days away. So get yourself your quilling tool and your quilling papers and sit down and just make all kinds of coils and then start making flowers out of them, because we're going to want lots of flowers to decorate our cards. So there you go. That's your assignment for Saturday. If you want to put your cards together at the same time, and we won't finish decorating all of our cards. We'll get our cards put together, and then I'll go back and show you what I did with them. But we can get our cards put together, at least working together. So that is what I have on the agenda for you. Next week, we're going to take 1 week off from quilling. And next week, we've got the Elegance collection. I think we were down, I'm not sure where we are now. I believe we were down to 3 or 4 of these left. If you want to be involved in this Graphic 45 Elegance, now's the time. I will not be able to get this again. So if you want it, that collection is now retired, and that Graphic 45 collection is a heck of a deal. It is, you get a 12 by 12 paper pack, you get a sheet of chipboard, you get 2 sheets of stickers, and it should sell for $27, and the price is $19.99. So there we go. I'm just reminding you the Hunky Dory sale is still on. I know most of you have participated. And ooh, chocolate frosty from Wendy's, yum. Um, so, but if you, I am going to probably go in and put a few more things in the sale. I want to just go back and check some of the categories, and I'm sure that I've missed some things. In fact, I've gotten calls from people about saying things like, I got the kit, but it doesn't look like the inserts are on sale, and I put them on sale for them. But I'll go back in and just double check my work and see if there's a few more things I can toss in the sale this week. So that's what I've got for you. Anybody have any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom?
I would say we're almost through anybody that ordered through May 23rd. So
Okay.
we're still like really trying to get them out the door.
Yeah. And I've warned people that it might take an extra couple days to get your orders out this time. How much longer for the reviews for the drawing? You have until the end of this month, and then we will draw. Oh, I'm going to put something in the newsletter. I'll have to figure out how to do it. I sent the check to World Central Kitchen, and we have a form letter thank you back from Chef Andrea. It's from the World Central Kitchen. So I'm going to put something in the newsletter to show you that that's been done. Maybe the thank you or something just to show you, because it's actually, I dedicated the contribution to you guys, to our crafty friends and loyal customers. So yes, you are more than welcome, guys. Okay, I think that's it. Um, in the absence of any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom, let me just say I'll see you Saturday, and good night, Gracie.